Yes, the screen is finally ready. After months of hard work, it all comes down to this. Yes, yes, yes! What the? Hey everyone, thanks for watching How To Pixel, and today I have a very juicy video for you. I haven't uploaded in almost a whole month, and that's because I've been trying to work on 3 videos, but I haven't been able to finish any of them. I've been waiting for a part for 2 of them, and the 3rd one has been an absolute pain to make. It's probably going to be at least 2 or 3 hours long. It's going to be an updated version of the full X-Lights tutorial. But I figured I've been posting lots of tutorials, so today I'm just going to take a break from tutorials and give you a little bit of behind the scenes on what's been going on with the show. Be able to relax and not have to worry about making a super good tutorial. So what's been going on around the Bridgeport's Bracelets compound? Well, a lot of things, and I'll be showing what we've been doing in this video for them. But the first thing is, I got a ton of bracelets in. Well, not a ton, there's only like 50. I probably shouldn't have done that. So, where was I? Oh yes, I got 50 bracelets in. I ordered new bracelets for this year's light show. If you don't know, we run these fancy bracelets in our light show. They can sync to the lights. You can program them, and then anyone who comes to the show can get them, and they are just really cool. The only problem is these bracelets aren't working with my transmitter because my transmitter has outdated firmware on it. But apparently you need a special cord to update the firmware, so I had to wait like 2 weeks to get the cord. I got the cord, and I'm going to be trying to upgrade the firmware in this video so you can see how to do it. Not really tutorial style, just showing you how I'm going to attempt to do it. So that's something you're going to see in this video. Oh, I actually landed it in the box, wow. Next, we have a ton of stuff done with the panel. The panel has been this giant project. For those who don't know, I bought like 56 panels, I think, and we're making one giant screen to replace the projector in our show. It has been a crazy roller coaster trying to build this thing. It's so close to being done, so I'm going to show you what I have done with that panel. It lights up right now, we just don't have the back or some of the other mounting things done on it, but I'll show you that in this video. And then we've been building a lot of props for the Christmas light show. We have a wreath done, we have some candy canes. The trees are not done yet, so we do have to work on those. I might be building those in this video, I'm not sure yet. I'm going to wait for that time to come. But that's everything going on. That's everything you're going to see in this video. If you want to skip to something because I'm boring in certain parts of this video and you don't want to watch it, feel free to use the time codes that I always put in the scrub bar. But grab some popcorn and relax as you take a tour of what I've been doing for the past while. So first, I have a video from a few weeks ago of some of the props we've been working on, like the candy canes and the wreath and stuff, and I can't get to them now to show them because they're buried behind stuff that you will see in a second. So I'm going to show you the older videos of what we've gotten done with those. Another cool thing we've gotten done is we've punched all of the pixels in for the candy canes and the wreath. We still have to do the trees and the Tune To sign, the new one. But I have a video in a second I'll show you of these candy canes lighting up. But these candy canes are super cool. For anyone who doesn't know, these are the, I think, 36-inch tall candy canes. I put it on the screen, the ones I bought. There are 99 pixels in it. There are 3 rows of 33 that go up. And this is the wiring on the back. Basically, the way the wiring works is it starts at the bottom and it zigzags back and forth between the 2 rows all the way up around to here. And then it goes into one singular row going down. That's the wiring view. That's how it's wired in X-Lights. That's what it suggests because that way your input and output can be on the bottom and not go up, then down, then back up and have your output up there and then make power injection weird and all that. And I have strings of 100 pixels, and what I'm going to do is this extra pixel that's on the end, since these are 99, I don't really think it's worth it to cut it off and solder it. So on the controller, after every single candy cane, I'm just going to have to put in a null pixel and have it skip that pixel. Here is the wreath. This is also finished. This also takes 99 pixels. It is the 48-inch wreath with 3 rings off of Boscoio. It does have a slit in it so they could fold it for shipping, once we hang it, we'll probably like hang it horizontally. So these slits will be on the sides, and we'll probably do something to keep it from folding. The wiring for this was very simple. You start, let me find the start pixel. It's right here on this side. You start and then you go all the way around 3 times, and then it ends there. So now the moment I'm sure most of you have been waiting for it, and the main reason why you clicked on the video, the panel. Building this panel has been a massive roller coaster of emotions, and then we turned it on and it was glorious. It's actually not completely done. The back still has some things that need to be done to it, and I think we might be doing some stuff to the main frame of it because there's a lot of problems with it that I'll talk about in a second. Once it is completely done, I'm gonna have a full video explaining every single piece of how it's put together and all of the dimensions of everything. So if you want to build this exact same panel, you can. There is, I think, 56 panels here. It is 7 panels across and 8 panels down. The resolution is 448 pixels long and 256 pixels down. So it's a little bit better than 360p, but a little less than 480p resolution. You can notice there are a lot of pixels flickering in it, especially over here. If you just sit and look, you can see a lot of things flashing. I'm not sure why. I think there might be some settings I could change to fix that. These are the non-waterproof panels, so we have this plastic in front of it that keeps them from getting wet. This plastic we got off of Biscoyo. It should keep it from getting wet, hopefully. The biggest thing that we both don't like about this screen is the frame at the bottom is not big enough, or like, so there's this little frame that comes off at the bottom. There's 2 wheels on each side, and this was meant to keep it from falling forward. And then we wanted to put stuff on the back of it, but we can't because then it has to stick out from the garage, and we want it to be up as close to the garage as we can. So we thought maybe the panels would hold it forward and not tip, but I just have to barely touch it and the whole thing starts falling backwards. It's against stuff back there, so it can't tip over, but you can't leave this outside alone at all because it will tip over with the slightest breeze. I'm going to show you a look on the back side of it. This is the back. Yeah, a lot. Let me turn on my light. There is a lot of wires, and we have 3 5-volt power supplies, and the color light card is right there. It controls all of this. We do have to have 2 extension cords to plug this in, because from what I've heard, you can only have 2 power supplies on 1 extension cord, but I did see a video of a guy do 3, and what he did was wire that one and this one into the middle power supply and then have 1 extension cord come out. That way it's technically only 2 on a chain. So we tried that, but we couldn't get all of the wires to fit in there. So what we did was we have 1 extension cord going to these 2, and then extension cord going to that power supply, which goes to the color light card and some of the panels over there. But we still have to put the back on this. The back will be these pieces of, I think it's plywood. We're gonna screw it on, and that way we can unscrew it if we ever need to get to the back of it. We're gonna put some vents on it, and then at the top up here, we plan to put some eyelets up here, and then we're gonna take rope or string or something from up there and attach it up here. That way it cannot tip over, and so we might have to do something with the frame because it won't stand unless you have those things up there. Well, it will stand, but it will fall over very easily. Right now, I'm afraid to not be holding it because I'm afraid it'll fall over. So full video with all the details about this will be coming soon as we're finished building it. Also a tutorial on how to set up the color light card to make all this work. That will be coming soon. But that's going to conclude it for this section of the video. And now on to upgrading the firmware on the Bracelets transmitter. So now we're going to be moving on to programming this bad boy and hopefully getting it to work. So this isn't going to be a tutorial on how to do it. This is going to be more of a watch me probably fail 100 times trying to get it to work video. If you're trying to do the same thing, maybe just follow along the steps I'm trying to do. But the guy who sent this to me also sent me instructions on how to update it with the software you need. So I'm going to go take a look at what I need to do for that. So here is the Dropbox folder and files I was sent to use to update the transmitter. So let's see what is inside the instructions before we go on to the dmx-ch5_en firmware.exe file. Okay, let's see. Step 1. Plug in the reprogram cable USB end into the computer. Okay, simple enough. Step 2. Double-click the program software, choose Upgrade. Okay. Step 3. Plug in the micro USB to the transmitter, then it is done. You can see complete. Okay, sounds pretty simple, and oh, that's it. It's literally just 3 steps to do this. Okay, that shouldn't be that hard. Now let's download this firmware exe file. Oh, and look at that. My computer doesn't trust it. DMX-ch5 blah 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 isn't commonly downloaded. Make sure you trust it. And who cares? Keep anyway. Okay, and then we can run this, so let's open it. Oh, look, more arrows. Windows protected your PC. Well, who cares? Life is about risks. Let's run it anyway. So after like 5 minutes of messing around, I finally got this to open. My antivirus kept it from opening and would not allow it to open because it didn't trust this. So I had to disable that, but now I have this open. So let's read the note. Before downloading, need to make sure that the computer has a serial port or a USB port. Yes, it does. Okay. Note 2. The highest lowest port rate of the serial port in general do not need to be set. This sounds like it was typed by someone who doesn't really know English. If the speed of the serial port does not match this program, try to change both the highest and lowest baud rates to 2400 or 4800. I semi know what this means. I might be able to do that if I need to. 3. Update the code. You need to first click on the upper left corner of the interface programming button and power the machine. Okay, so plug in the first we need to plug in the USB cable into the computer. Done. Next we need to double click the program software and choose update. Does it need to be plugged in now or later? Oh my goodness, this is all of the USB ports. I think that I don't have 255 USB ports on my computer. I'm going to hope that it's this one, but I'm not sure. If I hit upgrade now, what does this say? Please power on the target MSU after press down the button. So if I press it now, what does it do? I don't think it's going to do anything. Checking target MCU. I have no idea what this means. It looks like it's doing nothing, so let's just stop that. And now I'm going to try and plug in the transmitter and see if it works then. So I'm just going to stop this here and not show you the 30 minutes of me failing because I hooked this up wrong. I couldn't get it to work and I spent all night and the next morning trying to get it to work and figure out what happened. And I finally figured it out, so I'll just skip to that so you know what you have to do. So it is now the next day. I spent all night last night trying to figure out how to update the firmware on here and I couldn't get it to work. I emailed the company that this is from and it at first seemed like they weren't really helpful because I was telling them what I was doing and they kept just repeating the same instructions over and over. But then I realized I wasn't understanding the instructions right. So let me show you what I had to do to upgrade the firmware on this. So the first thing you do, you have your program open on your computer. You have the upgrade software open. And then you take your USB cord that's specifically made for the transmitter and you plug it into your computer now. But the other end, which is right here, you do not plug this in yet. Leave this end unplugged. And now if you look on the software, you can look through your USB ports and it shows USB serial something. It will say something right here. Whatever one is basically standing out from the rest, that's the one you should click. If yours doesn't show up here, then maybe try a different USB port. But you click that, and then I don't know if this is going to break it doing it a second time, but I'm doing it just to show you how it works. Then you click upgrade. Once it's plugged in, not to a transmitter, just to your computer, you click upgrade. And then it'll say checking for target MCU. And this is where it was frozen last time and it wasn't updating. But I didn't realize this is the cue right here to now plug it into your transmitter. So while it says that, that is now the time where you take your USB cable, the other end of it, and then you take your transmitter, and then this is where you now plug it in. So I plugged it in, and as soon as I did on the computer, it started showing things were happening to it. It adjusted the frequency, it did a bunch of other stuff that makes absolutely no sense to me, and then at the very bottom, it says completed. And once it's completed, this is done. You've upgraded the firmware on your Bracelets transmitter and you're good to go. So now this is going to be the moment of truth. will the transmitter, now with the updated firmware, work with the new bracelets? So I'm going to hook everything up, and everything turns on. Okay, that's good, that's good. I'm going to set the controller to connect to my computer so I can play a sequence right from X-Lights to here. And it's just going to be a simple color wash. And now I'm going to output that to the controller. These lights should blink fast, and they are. So, and this light should be blinking a little bit too if it's working. It doesn't look like it is. So I don't know how, but somehow the channel input got messed up on this, on the controller. But now if you look, it's very hard to tell on camera, you can't tell, but this light is flickering just the smallest amount. That means it's receiving data. So first, let's see if the old bracelets work with the new upgraded firmware. And they do. Okay, that is a very good sign. Let me turn this off so you could see it better. The old bracelets still work, and I don't see anything looks wrong about them, so I think that's a good sign. And then these are the new bracelets. Let's see if the new bracelets work. Yes, they do. Okay, that's a very good thing. Both the new and the old bracelets work with the updated firmware. So now I'm probably going to be running some tests to make sure all of the bracelets work, because I have 49 more to check. But that is how to upgrade the firmware on your bracelets transmitter, and I'll tell you if I got every single bracelet to work in the next clip. To answer that question, yes, I did get every single bracelet to work. All of them worked. I didn't notice any problems. I will probably run some more extensive tests. I only tested each one for about 30 seconds. But moving on to the final part of this video, I'm going to be building some props actually. I did not plan to do this, but I was like, you know what? Why not include everything? So I have 5 trees and an arch. I might put all of them together right now. I might just put together a few things. I printed out the wiring view for the tree and for the star. The tree is going to be a little bit interesting because there's this metal piece in it, and I'm not sure exactly how it mounts yet, but I'm probably going to be able to figure that out. This is the wiring from the back side, so it looks like, if I can get this out of the way, we're probably going to start here, like, yep, right there. And then the wiring goes up, then it goes up to here, then it goes back down, then it goes over to the middle row, then up, then down, then up, and then the lights continue on from here into the star. Now, I'm pretty sure the star is held in right here with these 2 pixels. It looks like it. So, and it's not that big of a gap from here to wherever the next pixel starts. But I'm still trying to figure out what this metal piece does. I think what it's probably meant for is supporting this so it doesn't bend, but I don't know how it's gonna not fall out. So I'll figure that out once I get there. Now for the wiring part of these, I have strands of 100 pixels, so some cutting and soldering will have to be done. Probably not right now. I'll probably just cut off the extras and move on. Now I had 2 options for wiring. One was I have enough strands that I could take, this all together takes 70 pixels. I could take 70 of these pixels, put them in here, and cut off the extra 30, and do that for each strand. Or I could keep the 30 and combine them with the next strand and have a soldering joint somewhere in the middle, and then the next strands. And I think that's what I'm gonna do, because I don't want 5 strands of 30 pixels extra that'll probably never get used. But let's get started with punching pixels. Well, there's the first tree done. So this tree was pretty easy to put together. I'd say the only hard part was the star, because all of the pixels are very close together. And the other thing is, it is very easy to over push these pixels. These trees, let me get another piece. These trees are extremely thin, as you can see. So they're very easy to bend, and it's very easy to shove a pixel in too far. So don't push with all of your force. It's not a super tough prop. The wiring doesn't look too crazy on the back. What I did was I just normally punched the pixels till I got to the end of the tree, and then I unpunched these 2 pixels and put in this part of the star. When you do that, you want to make sure these green parts are on the top of the star, or on the back side technically, not on the other side, because if they are, then you cannot fold the tree like this. I'm not sure how easy folding will be. I don't want to do it yet, just in case I need to do anything else here. I'm not going to be doing any more because it's the exact same. Oh, and one other thing, this metal piece, it actually can't fall out because it'll hit this pixel. It still can slide out a little bit, but I think that's used to like help this part from bending right here, because it won't bend right here. The metal still is there. So that is very useful, and make sure you keep that metal piece in. But yeah, this is the mini tree, and now I'm going to go on and punch 4 more mini trees and another arch. I'm stupid. Something else I forgot to mention while I was cleaning up is these are the small trees from Boscorio Studios. If you want to check these out, these are also the small tree stars. If you want to check any of these out, I'll put a link to them in the description. And all the other props that I showed in this video, I'll put them down below. So I think that's going to wrap it up for this video. It felt good not having to make a tutorial for once. At the time of this video, it is August 17th, so Halloween isn't too far away. So pretty soon, we're going to get ready to start putting up stuff for the Halloween display. That way I can have time for testing and recording. And then the show starts and all the fun begins. Thank you everyone for continuously watching and supporting the channel. Like always, if you have any comments or questions, feel free to put them down below in the comment section. And I'll see you in the next video. You know, sitting here punching these pixels in the silence made me think of a really good idea. Someone should make a podcast called the Pixel Punching Podcast, where it's literally just a podcast where people talk about podcast things while punching pixels. This might be $1 million idea. I might have to start that.